Class is now in session. This is Weather U with Gabrielle Espinoza.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Weather U. Today we're going to talk about the jet stream and how it's formed, because as TV meteorologists, I feel like we talk about the jet stream a lot, but it's never really explained to the viewer about what it is. So the jet stream starts by the uneven heating of the Earth's surface. That's called differential heating. You're going to get three different types of cells due to the differential heating. So based on the angle of the sun and the Earth, near the equator, that's going to warm up the most, the Hadley cell in the orange color to show that it's the warmest. The Ferrel cell in the middle, which is in between the warmest and the coldest. The coldest is now the polar cell closest to the poles. Now these three different cells each have their own circulations. The polar cell has rising air closest to the Ferrel cell. In the Ferrel cell, the air rotates in the opposite direction, causing rising air between the boundary of the polar cell and the Ferrel cell. The opposite is true between the Ferrel cell and the Hadley cell, where the air is sinking. Now, because of the boundary of these different temperatures, we see winds develop in between the two. So this is where we're going to see the jet streams develop between the polar cell and the Ferrel cell and the Ferrel cell and the Hadley cell. So we have two different jet streams that we talk about across the United States that kind of impact our weather here in Southwest Louisiana. Here's a better view of those and how we normally talk about them. So the polar jet is associated with the cold fronts, and because of the rising air, which we just saw, we get some of those stronger, more severe storms moving across the United States with this kind of front. So the polar jet, that dips down, and that's going to bring a cold front across the area. So this cold front just moved through. That next cold front is poised to move through. But all of a sudden, the subtropical jet is going to start to take over. That's the other jet that we talk about all the time. This one brings us quite a bit different weather pattern. So when this moves over Southwest Louisiana, it usually is associated with first a warm front that usually bumps up our temperature and brings us super humid air. And the other thing it does is bring these little things. We show these a lot. I'm not sure we talk about them all the time. Is a short wave, or just really a disturbance of some wet weather across Mexico from the Gulf of California all the way across Mexico and into Southwest Louisiana. It increases the moisture and the rain, and that's when we get in one of those rainy and cloudy patterns, and it sticks around for quite a while as long as that subtropical jet is far enough north to bring us that kind of warmer and wetter pattern. So those are the two jets that we talk about all the time and the kinds of weather associated with them. If you guys have any questions about those, feel free to message me on Facebook at Gabrielle Espinoza KPLC. But for now, class is dismissed.